Hi everyone, it's Theodora. I'm really excited because we have Jennifer Larmore here to talk to us. Thank you so much for being here today. She really doesn't need any introduction, but I guess I'll give you one anyways. She's a two-time Grammy Award winner. She's sung in almost every major opera house, and she's been recorded with every label that you wish wanted to record you. I want to start off our conversation by talking about everyone's favorite subject, auditions. I am sure you have done quite a few through the course of your career, and I just was wondering, what do you think makes you so successful at auditioning?
For me, it was always knowing the repertoire really well, being able to know exactly what I could ace when I walked in the room so that I didn't walk into that room feeling like I didn't have it all right where it needed to be, you know? And I wanted to capture, this may sound kind of funny, but I wanted to capture these people's attention. I wanted to get them in the palm of my hand, you know, and make them give me contracts right on the spot, you know. So I also wanted to use my assets. I wanted to be positive. I wanted to create an atmosphere and make them want to hire me. I think that's really important. And if I was ever nervous, and of course I was nervous in these situations, everybody is, I would breathe and I would just create this safe space for myself. But knowing your repertoire and being really, really, I would say, knowing what you can ace, that helps a lot.
Speaking of acing things, you are always captivating everybody when you're performing. And I was wondering, do you have any advice for young singers when they're faced with a juror that just won't pay attention, they're texting on their phones, they're doing whatever? What do you do?
Yeah, I think it happens that way a lot of times because your mind, your voice, your body, the character, everything is not really together immediately because you're nervous. You have to get that all together. And that's why I would always warm up in character. And it's funny, I don't hear a lot of young singers that do that. I mean, I'm teaching them how to do it. But if somebody's listening to this, try it. It's fantastic because you really do, as a young singer, think a lot about technique. You're thinking a lot about your voice in that moment and slowing down your heartbeat because the nervousness really does get in the way. But if you're warming up for an audition or a lesson or a concert or opera or whatever, go to the piano and decide, okay, I'm going to sing this aria and I am going to warm up as this character and I'm going to run the gamut of emotions. And you know what that does? It gets you from point A to point B really fast. It's fun. You start to smile or you start to really get into that character to where when you walk into that audition room, you are so ready that you can't be nervous. I mean, why are you nervous to begin with? Because you're not ready in that moment. But what if you were? You know, what if you really were ready and you could relax and just enjoy it? Then, if you're enjoying it, they're going to enjoy it.
I couldn't agree with you more, and I think that ever since you gave me that advice, I've been winning a whole lot more of auditions. And, beyond winning auditions, it's a much more pleasant way to do an audition because at least you're having fun, even if they're not. Uh, so I kind of want to change gears and talk about consistency. How do you remain consistent in an audition while sprucing it up with spontaneity?
That's a good question. Once I got a review that said Jennifer Larmore was consistently wonderful again. Now, I wasn't sure if that was if that was a compliment or was it somebody complaining about my consistency? Well, I think that consistency is something that people can admire, but yes, you've got to also get that spontaneity in there. The consistency is not a bad word. You know, it is a good word. It's a basis. You know, it's something that you walk in with. They see that you're confident. You're going to sing each aria really well. And that translates into something they can sell. Somebody that won't cancel a contract unless they're really, really sick. Somebody that you can count on. So that is a good thing. Now, spontaneity comes from reacting. You're going to see certain things going on in an audition. Okay, you're going to see them writing things, and you're going to see them maybe looking at their phone or really studying you. And that also, that undivided attention can also be kind of daunting. You know, having somebody sitting that close to you, or way back in an auditorium or something, and you cannot think about that. The consistency in a really good performance will come from really concentrating, I would say, on the character, the music, and reacting to the moment.
I think that's really great advice. Thank you. My last question about auditions is about pianists. You know, they're expensive, so I think everybody's always asking themselves, is it worth it? Did you always use your own pianist?
Well, sometimes you don't have a choice. I always tried to use my own pianist, but if they gave me somebody else, then I always tried to make sure that that person has the music in advance. And if I couldn't do that, I at least would say, may I have a moment to explain the tempo and some things? And you say it with a smile. Hopefully they'll go, yes, yes, go right ahead, you know? And I don't think there's anybody that would say, no, you can't have a moment, you know? So take the moment, go over, make sure the person has clear, you know, music to play from. How many times have I seen singers bring in, you know, copies of something that nobody can read? It only sabotages your own audition. So yeah, I mean, there are certain advantages to having your own pianist there. They know you, they can breathe with you. There are also a lot of good moral support as well.
Well, I think I might start bringing my pianist every time. I want to thank you so much for all of your great advice on auditions, and I want to tell all of you that are listening to go read Jennifer Larmore's book, Una Voce. It is amazing. A lot of the questions that I asked today, and which I will ask next time, are inspired from the book, and it's really just a great resource for young singers because it answers a lot more questions than even I have asked here today. So if you want to buy it, go to jlarmorebook.com. And if you want to read more about Jennifer, visit her website, www.jenniferlarmore.net. I am Theodora Cotterell, and this has been In the Wings with Jennifer, and thank you so much. I really appreciate it. If you liked this video, please subscribe to my page, and if you have questions that you want me to ask in the future, please leave them in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in. Next week, we'll continue our conversation where we will talk about stress, turning points, and advice in a general way that she has to young singers today. Thanks.